everybody, and welcome. I'm Visible Lady of Faith, and this is
her husband.
And we're here to give you the highlights of the Sunday school lesson entitled Full Assurance for Sunday, June the 23rd, 2024. Assurance, our maturity.
What do you mean the full? I mean, having confidence in what you believe in, who you are, and your relationship with God. That's, the full assurance.
So that's a full assurance.
Yeah.
Having confidence.
Yeah, in your belief,
in our belief.
Because, see this pattern where people are not sure where they're going. They've been going to church all the time, but still they don't have the confidence that they accept Jesus Christ, that they are saved. It's simple. If we accept Jesus Christ and we are practicing Christians, there's no problem at all.
Yeah, but I understand what you're saying, that we, in our human finite mind, we have accepted Jesus Christ.
It's a human thing.
Savior, and we believe that we are saved. But we believe that when we do leave the planet, that we're going to go into a better place.
Yeah, because like we were looking at AGT the other night, and some of the people came up and they talked about they finally had the confidence to step out.
Right.
That's what we're talking about, that assurance. And then when they got out there, they found out they really was good. Everybody's been telling them that, but they had to believe it themselves.
Right. And it's kind of something like having courage, right?
Courage, yes.
Having courage.
So it's a human thing. To
just step out of your comfort zone.
It's amazing to watch people. They don't have enough confidence, and guess what? And they'll follow just any and everything. And we have evidence that all over the place.
So it's like being in a cult. You don't have the confidence or the courage to, I would say, think for yourself.
Yep.
Yeah, think for yourself. Someone can feed you just anything and you just jump on it.
People pride themselves in this country, whoever has the best way of articulating things, the bigger words, and sounds more educated. Mm-hmm. And I hate to say this, was when I said in the classroom, if it comes out of a white kid's mouth, it's the truth. If it comes out of a black kid, let's examine that.
Mm-hmm. It has to be validated, from somebody else versus what you said or someone else says.
Either validated by their skin color or their vocabulary, their education.
Yeah.
And it kind of reminds me of the story of this truck got wedged up underneath a bridge, and all these officials and everything, and they were trying to figure out they're going to have to tear the bridge and everything apart. And this little kid came by and said, "I ever thought about letting the air out of the tires?"
Having confidence in what you believe, and then what you can do, what you can get accomplished.
Mm-hmm. And see, that's what we're trying to do. Why we're a little different than others presenting the Sunday school lesson, is because of the fact we're trying to get people to engage and have that confidence in what they're reading and studying.
That's in your mouth. It just came and whoop, it left.
Maturity, to me, speaking of that maturity, I mean, my career, I was very successful in it, and I said a lot of times, I don't know the answer to it. I'll get back to you. A lot of people hated that.
Yeah.
But guess what? I got back because I had credibility, I had integrity, and I did what I said I was going to do because my word was my bond. But the maturity part comes in there, and you got to have the courage to stand up for what's right, and you just keep going.
Mm-hmm.
And then a person to sit there and talking and everything when they, because I was wondering about, that person, I felt bad because they gave an answer right here. They're smarter than me. Mm-hmm. But later on, I found out what half of the answers were wrong.
Yeah, that's, I think, a part of being mature, being able to say, I don't know, but I'll see if I can find the answer for you.
And then it sounds like you're weak is what this other generation.
Yeah.
But if you're going out,
admit, okay, I don't know the answer to that. Let me look it up.
Yep. Because if any human being think they know everything, you already know you're talking to a liar.
No, I remember what I was going to say about how we discuss a Sunday school lesson. Given the highlights of the lesson, we want to try to make this discussion relevant to everyday life.
Just everything. Just really to address some of your own private concerns, and you have the confidence to bring them out in the open. And then when you bring them out in the open, you say, "Woo! I wish I had about this a long time ago. I got it resolved. I don't have to carry this baggage around anymore." Yeah. There was a slave Bible that was modified to keep the slaves, to keep the natives, make sure they stay calm and
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
and you can go in. You know, I'm having a problem going out there buying the Bible to read it because I want to read it for myself. But the problem is, I'm looking at the author and I'm looking at the author and saying, he's white. I wonder is this another scam? Just putting money in his pocket with something that, I don't know. So I have to be careful about this newfound information. Then also too in the Juneteenth when they went down and freed them, because it's not like, hey, down there in Texas, the slaves are free and white folks. No, they already knew and they were lying. And when I found out there was 4,000 black men, soldiers with guns saying, you're going to release them. Oh, now I understand how it works. See, they're not teaching this. So this is new to me. And here I am, 70-something years old, and just now finding this out. Out of the Bible. It's not the King James
Oh,
we read.
I see. Okay, the slave
They
Bible was
modified
a
it.
modified Bible.
Bible, they took away things to make sure.
What they wanted us to know.
Yes.
And what they didn't want us to
So
know.
now
they
it makes
removed
sense
it.
how they were justifying their evil, keeping my ancestors in slavery.
Right.
Well, see, a lot of
and
it,
how they continue to practice racism to this
they
day.
do it to this day. Same old thing. Is a white man's religion. That's is what I'm referring to. It made a lot of sense when I found out there was a slave Bible.
Yeah, I'd like to get if you can find a copy of that, like you were trying to find a copy of that, that would be interesting to
if I
look
do,
at.
If I do, I'm gonna make sure a lot of black folks get the Bible, because I don't want to be donating to a cause that I feel like I'm being set up for the okie doke, every time. So so I got to be careful with that. This is the way, and this is the way Satan works. He just the author of confusion. That's how he operates.
Yeah. So another highlight in this lesson talked about an anchor. An anchor. So we know that an anchor supports something and it stabilizes something, and something you can I would say bounce things off of. Yeah.
So because I like the analogy that was using a boat and its anchor.
Yeah.
And if you remove the anchor, the boat would just go adrift and float. Because if you were going out on an island and you didn't anchor your boat, and that's the only way you can get off to mainland, and your boat drift away at night while you sleep or something like that, or you turn your back and it's gone, then you created a really big problem. So how do you anchor yourself in this world so you are comfortable within your own skin? First, you got to find and study the Bible, the King James, the one, the 66 books in the Bible. Matter of fact, unfortunately there was a Bible that had 72 in it, and I lost that one. They said the original one that was, they stripped out several of the other chapters. But it's one thing is I would have to say that I am comfortable because of the fact I know I just know evil when I see evil, when I feel it, because when they said, we don't want you in here, and I know that's evil because I've talked to friends that are white, blue, pink, whatever color you want, and I found some very nice and kind people and loving, and they have respect for one another.
So the anchor helps us to get stabilized. Stabilized.
And when you're
in place.
When you're rooted and grounded in the Word of God, and you understand that that's your anchor, you'll stand fast, and you know what's right and what's wrong, because you have the courage to stand up, to this nonsense that's going on, especially nowadays. And
Galveston, Texas.
Yeah. And when I found out there was 4,000 black men with guns, and then the slave owner said, "Okay, you can have them now. They can be released." So they didn't go kindly. So they don't want to teach this kind of stuff because they don't want to make the generation of the hateful people, dealing with that.
Okay. Another thing I wanted to bring up about slavery was, like they're banning books now, saying they don't want certain people to feel some kind of way or make them feel bad. But what about people that have gone through that?
They're still going through it.
And what about us learning about how we were treated? How do you think we feel? One thing that really made me sad is when I saw a picture of a little, looked like maybe 3-year-old child with a bag across the shoulder, picking cotton and what they, knowing what they did, but what about us that went through it,
And then plus on top of that, the definition of slavery that I've read in the King James, the full Bible, not the slave Bible, that it's not the same slavery that we experience here in the United States. Because it's when you turn around and you start painting the picture of how it's going, I can, myself personally, I can understand why white folks don't want it taught, because they'll be viewed as a monster, which they were. That's what they were, and they don't want to hear that, and they don't want their kids say, "Mommy, Daddy, our ancestors were monsters."
We are still suffering from
Yep.
that today, so it is not over.
And this is what this says: full assurance is our Sunday school lesson. You got to have the confidence to speak out, not just say, "Well, I'm just going to talk about Jesus Christ and just stay comfortable with that, and let's not address any of the other things." Yeah, how in the world can you talk about love, peace, and etc., and you got this nonsense going around in your neighborhood and everywhere else? Call it what it is. Evil is evil and good is good. When the election comes around, I'm going to be cringing. I'm sorry, I'm going to be cringing, because this mega group that's moving, I have no idea what they're going to do. Because I'm going to put it this way: January 6th happened, and if you think I'm going to go to sleep and say, "Oh, everything is going to be fine," woo, they're not going to do it. No, you're setting yourself up for an okie doke. We're living in a society what it is, and we should not lose. One, as far as the testing and the trial, we shouldn't lose what God wants us to do. Be, respectful and kind people. But also, too, not to go so far offline that we being caught unexpectedly. It is, even if you have to, I'm sorry, sir, I'm not sure who you are. I don't know you. But I hope for the best. But if the person really wants to engage you, they will reciprocate with kind words. And so you can and be comfortable. But at the same time, like I said, read the room, because some people are going to be lying to you.
Okay, so the final highlight of this lesson that we want to talk about is talked about thorns and thistles. And we know that thorns and thistles can be painful.
Yep.
Just let the past and the present discourage us from doing anything with our lives and
Yep.
for each other and for other people.
Because Satan wants you to stop. Satan wants you to give up.
Yeah.
Satan don't want you to vote. Satan, it's just
Right.
You got to keep going.
Right.
Because it's all the slaves.
Persevere.
Yeah, the slaves, they got free. So we're going to keep pushing, because we did have civil rights. Now they're trying to take it away.
Yeah.
We just got to fight. And then the next generation.
But it's a continuous fight. It will never end.
Yeah.
As long as we have hateful people, it will
Yep.
it will never end.
And you can,
Our generation, next generation, the next generation.
No,
The fight continues.
and the thing is,
the fight for justice continues.
Was it the butler, where the father, the son, the two sons?
Yeah, that was a butler.
Now, they all had different approach. One took the military approach, one took the activist approach, and one took the humble in the White House, taking a lot of mess, which was the dad. But I like the way it ended. The dad saw what his son was doing, and he became and started helping.
Got on board.
Yeah, he got on board.
Become an activist. Yeah.
Yeah. So it takes a while. Even all of our different approaches, it's helpful. So don't, us as black folks, don't get angry because somebody else has a different approach. And then, there's different, white folks, there's Asian folks. They're all respectful people in each one of those races. And we all should be saying, what race are we? The human race. That's what race we're really in.
Right. Okay. You done?
Sure.
Okay.
You said
Okay.
done.
Okay. With that being said, don't forget to like, subscribe. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment on this video. And also, you can also offer suggestions on how you would like to see a discussion of the Sunday school lesson relevancy for today. Discussed.
And if you can, read your Sunday school before, and then
Sunday school lesson.
Yeah, and put some comments in what you would like to have questions and talk about. Yeah, we'll give you our point of view to it as well, in our opinion.
And one thing I like about our discussion on Sunday school, our Wednesday night discussions, that we can hear not just our perspective, but other people's perspectives, and which is I think very good. Interesting. We learn from each other. So.
Elevate your body and soul, elevate your mind and soul.